Hey guys, welcome to the stream. How you guys doing? Yeah, doing well. Liverpool fans, I told you not to be too worried. Yeah, VVD signed a new contract, and Mo Salah signed a new contract, so they're both still going to be at the club. I'm pretty certain TA is not going anywhere. I have a feeling he's not going anywhere because from where I'm sitting, I think all along it's been a ploy by the players to get a bit more investment into the club, and they want a bit more strengthening down the core of the team, and I think that's the direction they've headed in. And we haven't seen any more news, but I suspect that's where we're going. Amirul Naim 92, welcome back to the stream. Haven't seen you for a long time. How are you doing, man? My fellow neighbor in a neighboring country, not very far away from me. We're just one flight away. Hope you're doing well. Yes, no talks about the nonsense that's happening around the world. I'm just going to be focusing today. We're going to be doing an experiment, okay? So I know I've received a lot of questions lately about training, right? What to do during preseason. How do we set up training? How do we do this? How do we do that? And when I was going through my videos, I realized, yeah, you know what? I think it's about time that I just do a video on training. But you see, the thing about this is I like to show what I'm doing. I like to show the whole process. Why? Because I think transparency is really important when you're doing simulations. Because while it is quick and easy for me to do a simulation and just give you the results, I kind of think I need to show you what I'm doing so that, you know, if you want to do your own thing, good for you. So we're going to be doing that, but before I jump into all of that and before I start talking about that, we're also gonna be talking about other things, right? So let me just make sure that, yeah, we have to make sure that all things are there. Hey, Amirul, new left back for Liverpool. Hello, Intanin, welcome to the stream. I might have to do that intro again because I wasn't recording. Yeah, it's good news for Liverpool, yeah. VVD is there, going to be there next season. Mo Salah is going to be there, and I won't be surprised if TA is there too. Now, the reason why I think this way is it's simple. You see, the thing about Liverpool is for seasons now, I mean, they've made some investments. I mean, they did bring in Dominic Szoboszlai. They brought in Federico Chiesa. Now, Chiesa, I have to admit, right, he strikes me as that. I mean, next time I do any of these YouTube, these streams, I'm going to start recording stuff. And I think that it's really important for us to share what he was doing. He usually does after a game. If you watch Liverpool play, you should watch. He's one of the first few guys to give the players a hug, even though he's not playing, even though he's not in the starting 11 sometimes. But he's there to support the boys. And I think that speaks volumes about the camaraderie that's in the club. And I think that the senior players in the club probably decided, you know what, we want to push these guys. We're not going to sign contracts, even though some might argue that they're going to be expensive to keep. Now, let's put things in perspective. The world has become a super rich place for super rich people who are not being taxed enough. So I'm not going to go into the whole litany of how America is outspending itself and how they should be taxing the rich a bit more, because it's going to bring a far-right discussion that I don't want to get into. It's just, yeah, we're not going there, right? We're not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to talk about the 2 trillion that they overspend every year expecting the world. You know what? We take your greenback and then we'll say, you know what? That promise means something. But the problem is this, they don't pay what they owe. And they go like, you need our consumer spending. Yeah, baby. But you gotta pay the piper when it comes calling, which is one of the reasons why a lot of central banks around the world are buying up gold. You know why? Because the greenback isn't what it used to be. But then there's another story for another day. These English clubs are rich. They are loaded. We've got Liverpool owned by Yanks. We've got Chelsea owned by a Yank. We've got Manchester United owned by another Yank. We've got and a Brit. But then, you know, we're not going to go there as well. We're not going to I'm not going to mix politics and football, although it's quite fun. It's fun when you mix politics and football together, because if you start looking at the battle lines that are drawn between the clubs, you see a lot of political lines there too. But I'm not going to get that. That I'll save for a pint and friends, and we'll be at a bar and we'll be talking. We'll be having some fun. Ian Resk, how are you, man? I'm just doing preseason with Nancy. I might as well watch what you have to say. What I have to say? No. We're doing an experiment, not what I have to say. So what we're going to do today, on today's show, with enough of the political commentary. Okay, let's get down to the brass tacks of why everybody's here. You want to watch me watch Football Manager. You don't want me to talk about politics or finance, even though you guys should know better. Okay. Yeah, that's a privilege I have, right? We are going to schools, being educated and all. Yeah, I know what a tariff actually means. Hey, you been to China or not? They damn educated though. Malaysia also, a very educated place. Trust me, they got money. They're laughing their heads off because some guy in America just said they can't afford to buy our stuff. And I'm going, dude, you haven't paid us the bills you owe us from the last 10 years. I'm laughing my head off, man. Anyway, let's get down to this. Okay, brass tacks, straight up. Okay, today we're gonna do an experiment. We're gonna do an experiment on training. Okay, and I want to keep this very transparent because a lot of the times when I do simulations, I don't share the approach and the methodology. I even don't share with you, the whole damn thing. So today I'm gonna do an experiment with a club. We're gonna pick a club called Stuttgart. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to simulate one season. Now, I know that's not enough because where I come from, you need to simulate 5. But I'm going to show it to you guys as an illustration. And then I'm going to save the file on Discord and you guys can go on and, do your own. Now, the idea here behind this is we want to limit some of the conditions for simulation because we need to be very, 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 very specific. So we got to pick a club which has got a good balance of youth and senior players. We do not want to zero out any of the attributes because that doesn't, you don't find any Football Manager save where any of the attributes have been tweaked, right? Okay, so let's not do that. But what we will do is we'll bring all the loan players back. So there won't be any players out on loan. We want to bring them all back in the club. And then we're going to make everybody's contract last at least 4 seasons or 5 seasons or 6 seasons. I don't know. We'll just maybe stick in 10 seasons and be done with that. Why do I want to do this? Because then I create the base save. Okay, so once I've created the base save, we can simulate why our players not going out on loan. Because the thing is this, loan has a different kind of an approach. Because players go out on loan, they need to be playing games. So you really can't tell if somebody is developing really well out on loan unless he goes to a club where he actually plays like 10 to 15 games a season compared to a guy who goes on loan and just, does their laundry for them, because that guy isn't going to be playing. So what we want to do is we want to keep the players at our club, which means that this way we set up our save is going to be straightforward. Okay, so here we go. This is the save that I'm going to be using, right? So we're going to set this up. So this makes our simulation quite easy. We're going to go to the Bundesliga only. Now, since I'm not sending any players on loan, they're all going to be trained in the club, right? Good. So it simplifies matters. That means I don't have to have a really, big world. Because if you have a simulation where you have players on loan and compare how they do, then you really have to put a lot of leagues and make them playable, which just makes the simulation last longer. Which is why some of my simulations will take me a few days. So we're going to have this Bundesliga. We're going to make it playable. Why did I pick Bundesliga? Because Stuttgart is a good example of a club and, not too many clubs. Okay, all right, so we go in, we'll start the game here, and then what we'll do is the game will pop in. Oh, I can't remember. I think I'm using the original database. I'm not too sure. We'd have to go in and check. So let me stop here. While we wait for this, we can talk. Hi, Daljit. What are your thoughts on Real Madrid this season? Ancelotti has to go. That's it. I think Ancelotti's time is done. I think his failure getting that team through. Real Madrid looked like they were, I don't know. Real Madrid just played horribly against Arsenal. Credit to where credit is due. Arsenal, Declan Rice, 2 goals in the first day definitely counted for something. But they were so solid defensively compared to that the team from our boys, right? They had injuries to their backline. So here we go. I'm going to save this. Of course, I didn't spell Stuttgart properly, which is kind of a dumb thing to do. Remove the extra T and put the other T. It's like the 2 T's are in the wrong place. The double T is supposed to be here. Okay, Stuttgart Trading. I'm just going to set this up first base. All right, okay, then we do that first. Yeah, and then we will do all this except bomb. We gotta do all this because all the teams need a tactic. So I'm just gonna load a tactic. We're gonna pick a tactic that is boom, I don't know, a 4-2-3-1. Yeah, we're just gonna pick one 4-2-3-1, a base 4-2-3-1. We're gonna use this from Bayer Leverkusen. This is simple enough. I'm not gonna use inside forwards. We're gonna use as wingers, which is actually my favorite role the whole game. So just to use two wingers here. Okay, make sure that this got the take and the few. Okay, good. And then we got the inside. Yeah, we got the inside. Dribble less. Yeah, that can work. Okay. And then we'll make it. We'll leave it on balance, and then we'll do the invite cross. Yep, this is fine. We'll just the gap. All right. Okay. This can work. Okay, we'll leave that alone. Counter press. Yep, done. We'll add this in. And we've got everything else here. Yeah, done. Okay. And then we'll just save the tactic for them. Okay, save. Bayer, I'm gonna. All right. I'm gonna have to make sure that it's exactly the same tactic. One training. 4-2-3-1. Bayer. Okay. All right. Okay. So I've done that. So the next thing we want to do is we got to do a lot of things now. We got to create the base tactic first. So I do everything how I would normally play. Yeah. All right, done. So then we're going to set pieces to do the simulation. I always believe that you should do everything the way you want to play as much as you can. Otherwise, what's going to happen is everything is too randomized. Okay. Load all routines. I've got routines, I think. Somewhere here there's routines, right? Training. I did give you guys all the training routines, right? Oh, shucks. See, users, Profeto, Dropbox, Discord. Where's Discord? I have to go to Discord. I don't believe it, man. I don't even have my own stuff anymore, no? Set pieces. First gen and latest. Yeah, you guys new. Okay, done. All right, so we got the attack routines. We're just going to take out this and just have one routine. So we're going to remove this routine. We got a near post routine. That's done. So we got in swinger, defend. We got this. Okay, now we're going to come in here, set up our, make sure our priorities are correct. Aerial defenders. We want trackers number 2. Trackers number 2. Okay, trackers number 2. Yes, I want the trackers instead of the counter. The trackers are those guys who are decent at marking, right? So we just want them to be number 2 because they are the ones we actually want following those players. Like when I'm sure it's obvious to you guys, right? You don't want your trackers to be last because, like, you're putting the worst players to follow like a player running into the box for a header. Why would you do that? Absolutely makes no sense. I mean, all these things in this game, I'm telling you right now, they're not all perfectly set up. You got to tweak them slightly. So here we go, recovery defenders. Yeah, look, this number 2 again. There, aerial threats creators are fine, box and recovery defenders. That's good. Okay, so we'll leave that alone. Okay, save it again. Okay, we've done our set pieces. We've done our training. Now we got to go to the squad. Now comes the more annoying part. Okay, we're going to remove all the injuries first. Okay, that's it. Then we're going to look for all the players on loan and bring them back. Because we are not, I think some players are going to be, probably you got some loan players. Okay, I can't really tell now. Shucks. There must be a way. Training, skip. I hate all this. There is one place where I can see all the players are on loan. I mean, I'm doing this as a stream, so I'm rushing through this. I think this guy's on loan. On loan at Darmstadt, joining no. So we're gonna move him back. Move to edit. We gotta edit. Wait, hold on. Terminate loan. On loan at Darmstadt. Terminate the loan. Okay, terminate the loan. No. Okay, then just move him to Darmstadt. No? Okay. All right, we're gonna move him to Darmstadt straight away. Move to other club. He's gonna go Darmstadt as well. Now I don't need you in the club because you're just gonna mess up my whole. Oh no, where we go again? Move him to Darmstadt. Move to other club. Darmstadt. DARM. Darmstadt. Okay, come in. Okay, all right. We're moving straight to Darmstadt immediately. You can go for free. I don't care. All right. Where's the other guy? Gil Diaz. This guy's on low at Legia. Okay, bring him back to our club. Cancel his loan. Terminate the loan. Contractor. So we don't want anybody out on loan. Okay. On loan at Darmstadt, remove. Cancel the loan. Comes back. Okay. All these guys, they are from other clubs. It doesn't really matter. These guys, I mean, they are going to be on loan. And then they're just going to, because we're doing one season, right? So our end date will be 30th of June anyway for training. So we can see what, I mean, yeah, because let me think. No, what we're gonna do is move him to our club. Move to my club. Okay. Make it very easy. Move to my club. Okay. Move to my club. Okay. Move to my club. I want everything to there cannot be any lone players in the club. There cannot be, I mean, so we just keep them at our club. The next thing we're gonna do is sort out their contracts. Okay, because we're doing an experiment. So that's the way I do it. Alright, squad, all done. Now we come in here and look at their contracts, which is the pain in the royal behind. Okay. So everybody, because we don't want them to leave, no. Okay, so here we got, let's say his contract. So what you're gonna do is we're gonna come in here, edit his contract, start edit club contract details, contract status, contract expiry date. We'll just put this here 28, done. So now he's gonna be here until 28. So everybody's gonna be here until 30th June 28. Okay, so then automatically he leaves. Then we come in here, 30th June 28. So we don't want any one season players. Okay. Edit contract. Yeah, a lot of work. Since we're doing it one season, right? So it's easier this way. Oh wait, hold on. Coming. What's this guy? Roberto Massimo. Edit contract. Because the last thing I want is, you know, we're doing a one season experiment. So we can actually dump. We can stop it at 26. But if you wanted to, you could do a 5 season. If I were to do a 5 season one, then 100% I'm leaving them there. The whole batch of them will be here until 28. 30th of June 28. Done. And we got another guy here. Gil Diaz. So did anybody watch Daredevil? What do you think of the finale? Not bad, huh? Like almost a modern indictment of what's happening in the US. It's almost semi-political now, man. Does a set piece coach help increase the chance of scoring from set piece? Just help increase the set piece attribute? I guess it familiarity. Yeah, but I wouldn't worry too much about it. Yeah, because set pieces as an attribute is improved anyway. But you know, if it helps you put him in there. He's high. He's got a high rating. He can help with the development of that attribute. But honestly, I don't care too much. And the other problem we have is there are not many top tier set piece coaches in the game. So it makes sense that the game we're not gonna get penalized. You'll find that even if you don't use a set piece coach, right? When you set up your set pieces, right, you're still gonna score lots of goals. So I don't think that should be something that you should concern yourself with. Just get a decent set piece coach to make you feel like it works. Because a lot of things in this game, just like the FM tweak thing, right? People always ask me, FM tweak improves the match engine. Actually, it doesn't do anything to the match engine. What it's doing is what you're getting is basically a placebo effect. Because what really happens is you're adjusting the top, you know, a bit of the attributes for all the managers, every top tier things are, which is, and then you're affecting the JSON file, and that in itself doesn't really do anything to the match engine. What it does create is your belief that it does. So that's all you need. And that's usually enough to convince people, oh no, there's something going on. Just a placebo effect. Yeah, so we got a few of these players now. So as long as we have the majority of players for 2 seasons, I'm happy. And they're not many, you know, so we'll just do all of them. And then we got to work. And then after that, you know who we're going to do next? The youth players. Yeah, in case anybody wants this file, I'll make it available so that you guys can go and do your own experiments. I mean, if you feel like it, yeah. I'm just gonna make this available on the Discord. What then after that is much more funky, They got more people doing it, and then we can have like a lot of people sharing what they have discovered. That'd be cool. All right, so we've gone to 26 now. Lauren, all right. So imagine this: we're forcing all these players. The next day, wake up and they find out, oh my god, I made this terrible club for another 2 seasons. What kind of mental manager is this? Okay, and I'm not gonna change their attributes, and I'm not gonna change their whatchamacallit. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna move coaches there. Yeah. So we're gonna give them the best coaches that we can get. In all, we're just gonna make sure that they have 5-star coaches everywhere. Yeah. So that we also remove that as a possible influence. We're also gonna go and change the facilities and max out the facilities so that the facilities stop being an issue. Right? So those are the things that we're gonna do. So we're gonna have to create what is called a base, a solid base, but we are not going to adjust their attributes because that's wrong. I never do that, and we're not gonna adjust their CAPA. What we're gonna do is we're gonna track their CAPA over time, and then because training is about distribution of attributes, so we're gonna see how they distribute. So what I'm gonna compare 2 approaches, right? So essentially, what we're going to do is we're going to use 2 approaches. The first approach is where we do minimal training. That means we might just put 2 match practices, double intensity, and individual focus, quickness for the whole team, right? That's it. Again, that's the only 2, okay? And then we're going to take another one, which is a balanced training schedule, right? With 2 match practice, but we're going to make sure that it's not too heavy, right? So there's going to be proper recovery sessions. So we can use those 2. Now, in an ideal world, what I want to do is even more, right? There's a lot more I want to do. But I'm just going to create the base first, and then we're going to run an experiment for 2, and then we compare the results. And then when we compare the results, what are we looking at? We're looking at specific players. We're looking at the squad as a whole. We'll need to create a view so that we can extract the numbers and put them into a spreadsheet. And this is where it gets a bit funky for me. I normally use Excel, but because I'm streaming, I'm gonna have to, can't use the other machine, so we're gonna have to use our Google Sheets. I'm not a big fan of Google Sheets for these kind of things, but I guess it can work too. And if I probably run into some questions about how to use Google Sheets, I'm sure you will jump up and give me a hand. All right, so we got a few more left. We've done that. We haven't even gone to the youth team yet. Yeah, this is the base. I'm creating what is called the base save. All right, and then we get to the last player. Not the last player, for the first team only. Okay, done. Whew, that's just the first team, no? Okay. Now we're going to this. Skip. Finish. Now we gotta go and take training. Wait, let me see. Responsibilities, I think. Skip. Finish. Responsibilities. Training. Not the second squad. Take control of general training. Take control of individual. Confirm. We'll see the kids. And here we go again. Okay, any loans? Yeah, bring them back. I think he's on loan, right? Cancel his loan. Terminate his loan. Bring him back. Cancel this. Terminate his loan as well. Bring him back. Okay, any more? Yeah, we got 2 more here. Terminate his loan as well. Too bad, kid. You're coming back. And then Juan Pereira, terminate your loan. You're coming back. Because there's no point now sending them. Because the other clubs are going to be... They're not... The reason why I'm terminating their loans is because we haven't loaded all the leagues. So if their leagues are not loaded, they're going to use a different match engine to simulate their results. If you want to simulate the results accurately, you're going to have to set a lot of leagues playable because it will use a different match engine. It will use a different engine to calculate the development of the players. And that is very important. It's like when you do a training experiment, you gotta make sure your experiment uses the same variables. Now, but the thing is, your base has to be a proper base as well. So it's like very funny, you know. If you do your experiment, okay, I'm doing it. I'm gonna calculate using one calculation for this group. I'm using a different one for this group. And then you're gonna say, what? You use the same approach. It's wrong, right? You gotta use the same approach for both. Okay, so this is the reason why we're taking them back, because now they will be training at our club instead of being out on loan, which is very, very important. All right, so now we come in here. Now we do the other thing now. So this guy is transfer listed. So we're gonna remove him as a transfer listed player. How do I do that? Transfer status. Next. Okay, come in here. They say it's transfer listed. Loan status. Okay. Loan status. Unavailable for loan. Okay, done. Confirm. That solves that problem out. We got another one here. How did you get in? I thought I weren't you the same guy? Unavailable. Yeah, it's the same guy. Okay, all right. Never mind. Yeah. Sorry, yeah. Okay. Now we come inside here, do the same thing again, all over again. Yeah, this is where it hurts. Okay, guys. What do you think? You think it's so when people tell me, oh, it's damn easy to do training experiment, I go like, how do you do yours? I wanna see. This is the reason why SI looks at my training files when I send it in. Because I do all this and I tell them what I'm doing and then I send it in. And then as I go, okay, thank you. It's like I want to make sure that because what's the point of, you know, doing a train simulation, the bugger isn't there next year. You want to do it for a few seasons so everybody gets massive contracts. I know it's not realistic, but you know, this is not really going to happen in real life. Yeah, there's another way of doing it here, but this one is a double. You know, I got to do it. I got to do more clicks with this. Okay, then I got to do that. I got to stop edit. So that's why I don't do it this way. That's so it takes more steps. I'd rather come in here, come in here, come in here. There's fewer clicks. But it's a long way to Tipperary. This is very long. Suddenly we change the rules of the game. We create youth contracts that they're all a youth contract. What an amazing youth contract they have, right? Okay. Okay, this guy, if I see youth contract, he's gonna get changed. Nope, full time. In fact, we're gonna change. I gotta go back and make sure everybody is full time. Yeah, it cannot be youth contracts. Yeah, so we gotta change all these guys to full time contracts. Because they have different things to affect them. All right, let's go. Yep. Okay. Bang. That. Ooh. Wow, there's a lot of players. Huh? It's a lot of work, man, this thing. No, not personal. We can give them nicknames too if you want. Huh? We do all this and then we go. And then I'm not going to do all of the youth players. Just going to do some. I'm just going to make sure, because we're only doing it for one season, right? So I'm just going to make sure that we have as many of these players around until 25. That's it, and then we can stop. Because these guys may not even be in the club anymore. We just want to see how they develop. I guarantee you the development is going to be very different for a lot of players. So this is 26. Okay. We only gonna grab a few players, huh? Only the full-time contracts. Just the few of them that I did. Okay, now let's see their PACA. All right, so we're gonna take the highest potential, make sure that they're on full-time contracts. Full-time, 28. Okay, these are the ones I want to track. One. This guy, we're not going to change their personality and all that nonsense. We're not going to do that. We're just going to leave them on the personality that they are. Cool. Okay, that's 2. Maybe we got this goalkeeper as well. That's going to be fun. 4. 28. That's 3. There's another goalkeeper here. 4. Excuse me. We got a striker here. This is okay. 5. Maximilian Herworth. And then Joran Milosevic. I think Jovan is done. Okay, edit. He's a full-time 28. Omar. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we got defenders. Any defenders here? We got one more defender here. Right, we got one defender. Cool. This time we just did him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and then we'll go for the next 2. You'll see us. So you'll see us and call camp. Okay, so we got a few now. Notice all their personalities are all balanced, which is quite common. We start a lot of these training saves. Okay, all right, we got enough. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think we got Ellie Kokut as well. 13. Elijah Scott. 14. Timo Ulpins. 5th. No, this guy is not. So we stop at that. Okay, so quite good. All right, so done. Now we're gonna give them their roles that they're gonna train in. So I want to be very specific about this. So like we're gonna give them roles, and I'm not gonna be like, oh, you know, this is not the role you're supposed to be doing. No, we're gonna give them the roles that we want them to do. Train in. So because we're gonna be using match practice as well. So that's important. So all the roles will be almost similar. Roles that I would normally do in my own saves as well. So okay, so we got this will be interesting. Making a ball winning midfielder. I think this guy as well. This goalkeeper as well. I think all the sweeper keepers on defense. Alright, then we got alright, I think we're gonna leave it. No more. I think we're gonna do all of them. It's a few of them only. Okay, so as long as they got their units and everything else done, I'm not gonna have any. Okay, we're gonna make sure that everyone has one. Okay. I'm not gonna do any like inverted wing back. You notice everybody is being a ball winner. It's the way we roll. These guys, all the centers will all be ball winning midfielders and support, which, I want to see if this actually makes sense. Yeah, well, we'll do it this way. Okay. So far, I noticed there hasn't been one guy who is a winger. That's a lot of work. I'm gonna have to set everybody up. Yes, CD. Fullback attack, right? We're not doing kids. Okay, done. All this is done. All right, so we've done this. Now, okay, I'm just gonna save it just in case. Just in case it goes. Yeah, to cover the concentration attribute. Exactly. That's why I did it that way. All right, so now we got this, and then focus everybody. Okay, this was the one where we do everybody quickness. I don't care. The goalkeeper also does quickness. So it's easier that way. So fun. Now I have to like remember exactly which one I clicked on. This is not my favorite, I'm telling you right now, I normally never do this. But I want to make everything as simple as possible. But youth kids, usually I never bothered quickness because they will definitely get quickness. Physical attribute development is pretty easy for them. Okay, so we open this up so I can see. Yeah. Normally I don't like doing this. Because I like stamina work rate, no? That's my favorite. So if I see this, right, I get very annoyed. Yeah. But I normally don't do this. Normally what I do is I actually look at the player's attributes to determine what they need. Yeah. So we do all quickness here. Yeah, even a goalkeeper, we're just gonna make everybody do quickness. Yeah. So sad. We're never gonna get lack of quickness complaints from this team, man. You're going to do the same workout. There we go. All done. All right, now we go into the training. The most important thing is that, right, you gotta go to the training and we gotta go to the rest. Changes the double intensity. All right, done. Next thing we're gonna do, I don't think we're gonna do the units and the mentoring just yet. Okay, so now we go back to the main squad. So we've done all the stuff here. Now we go to the main squad. Make sure that there's no like funky nonsense here. All right, so all here. Okay, we come in here, do the same thing in the training. Okay, so we can see the same stuff, right? All right, now we go. Why can't I don't know. This guy, Leonardo, still go training. Okay, apparently I got to go back and come back another day again. All right, so we come in here to Shadow Striker again because of in case you guys are wondering, it's because what the heck? It's like there is a little bug. To central defender lah. Okay, defend, shadow striker. Everybody's going to this. It's an inconsistency. And I like to, anyway, I personally like to train them as round outers. Again, one check. Wagoman, what's your problem? Okay. Round outer here as well. Okay, and here striker is going to be advanced forward. We'll just choose that role. Is it okay? And then fullback, all the fullback attacks. And central defender, all central defender. Although I do actually like ball playing defender. If you guys notice, I always train them as ball playing defenders. Round outer again. This is a slow blow, man. Then we got to go on 1 day holiday and come back. We got to move. We got to cycle 1 day forward as well, because we need to. We got a few that haven't been given the love. So we're not gonna retrain positions. Yeah, that's what I'm not gonna do. That also eats up. Okay, AMR, outer, striker, advance forward. AMR, outer. So exciting. Really, I got 17 of you viewing me. That's not there were 20. I guess some guys came in and they went like, oh my god, what is this guy doing? Yeah, that's it. I'll come back later for his results. Let's go and watch Donald Trump make a fool of himself. See this guy talking about Donald Trump. Okay. Alright, so we got a few. See, some of them are shaded out, so we'll come back to them. So quickness. Oh boy, this is so boring. Even I'm getting bored. Why do you think I never streamed this before? Yeah, I was thinking to myself, I mean, like, honestly, would you guys actually do this? I'm like, oh, would you actually watch this? Hey, Livdo Pro, how are you, man? We're just getting set up for a training simulation. Okay, so it takes a while. It takes almost an hour to do this, but I wanted to show you guys the process. Yeah. So we're gonna do this first, and then save it as what I call will then call the training base, because this is the most time consuming of them all. So you gotta set up. You gotta do the contracts. You gotta set up the training, and then you. Oh yeah, we haven't done the coaches yet. Huh? We haven't moved the coaches in yet, and if we haven't set up the. Okay, done. So we save this now. Let's look at training and coaches. Actually, the easiest way is just go in there and edit all the coaches. Come. Okay, so we got coach workload light. Okay, I tell you what, we go to our coaches, our staff, our coaches. Right? Where are our coaches? That's the coaching team. Okay, there we go. And then David Crecero, congratulations, you have just been promoted. Edit staff details. You're a big no, not these are attributes. You're all 20s, baby. So you don't have to worry now. Okay, it doesn't matter. This is attributes lah. Start editing. We wanted to do here. Okay, 32. The game will break. 202. Confirm the game will break. Okay, 20. 20. Can't assume that they get the best coaches, right? So that I mean, there are other things here, no. Besides their attributes, their personalities also play a part. But I'm gonna leave that out of it, because the attributes are not the only thing. Their coaching qualifications, their reputation, or everything plays a part. Okay, so we're gonna give him all 20s now. I think just 20 lah, everything. I don't want, I'm lazy. Okay, 15. Make sure they're all 15, okay? And then make sure it's at least 10 here, okay? Alright? You lazy bum. Okay. David Crecero, Stephen Hildebrand. Start editing. My goodness, this guy is horrible. You gotta make sure their contracts also don't expire before next season. At least one of them has got to have 20 in coaching. Goalkeepers as well. Now you see magically everybody's a 5-star coach. Although I don't think this portion here really makes much of a difference. Technical knowledge actually, as for the S-man, will be quite handy. Okay, that's 2. How many do I want to do, man? Okay, we have to do all. 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 10, 20, and all right, so all trapped in this club. They cannot go anywhere now. As 3 coaches, Democrats the next one. The reason why I'm giving them 20 is because, oh man, coaching course, he doesn't have, I cannot give him the license. Done. Okay. I think that's enough, you know. Training, coaches, headache coach assignments. Now we got a couple of 5 stars already. Okay, all right. So I'm not a 5-star apparently. Okay, we got 1 5-star here, 5-star here, 1 5-star. Let's see where the other guy is gonna be. This guy, 5-star here. Where are you? Are you a 5-star somewhere? You're a 5-star here. Okay, this guy, 4-star here, 3-star here. Lieutenant one is 8. I don't need to give him all. I just need 20, 20, 20, 20. I think it's here 20, 20. This will be enough. Okay, let's get back in. Training, coaches, edit coach assignments. You now, defending coach. Right, Malik Fath. What's he? What we need? We need another defending coach. Okay. All right. So then staff search. We need a few more. Okay, for reputation. Okay, Soren, keeping coach. My club. Goalkeeping coach. Go. Coach. coach. Club. Yes, we got a few more coaches. Edit coach assignments. MXC Lalas. Start editing. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. Okay. Alexi Lalas now is a 5-star here. Milan Barros 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. Milan Barros now can train here. We got 1, 2, 3. So we need 2 more coaches defending. We need set pieces. We got 1, 2, 3 more coaches. Okay. Club, 1 coach. To my club, 2 coaches. Club, 3 coaches done. All right, training. Go back to the coaches, edit the coaches, and then we got Jan Sleeman. What do we need? We need goalkeeping is covered. Jan Sleeman, imagine him. Okay. All right, you go and coach defending technical. Editing, defending, technical. Oh, that's enough. Should be enough. 16, 18 footer. Give him 16 here. Should be enough. Alright, then give him 28. Done. Bang. Should be 5 stars. Boom. Go back. Now I'm getting lazier. Okay. Azeban now. It's still not 5 stars. Damn it. Oh, sorry. Defending. Ding. Not 5 star. Okay. Alright, Yuna School. Whatever your name is. Technical. Okay. Start editing. Technical 20. Technical 20, mental 20, defending 20, determination 20, motivating 20, 20, bang, bang, boom. There you know, you are Jonas, you come to, you need attacking. Okay, so Yunus is there. So we only got myself. Okay. Start editing. How do I edit my attributes? Okay, alright. Start editing. Start editing. I think I need to be 20, 20, 20, 20. Alright. Okay. Oh man, still not good enough. Okay, so we need 1 more set piece coach. We can actually put him here. Okay. Editing set piece coach. Where are you? Oh, there you go. 20, 20, 20, and 20 should be enough, right? Frederick. Edit coach assignment. There you. That piece goes just a bit off. What is it you're missing? Ding, 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 ding. I don't know why you're not for. Man, I'm not gonna bother. Okay, so we got all except for this guy. Okay lah, never mind lah. It should be enough lah. Yeah, how much I wanna go? Okay, I think what we can do is edit, and then we need to bring in another coach. We need to bring in 2 more coaches. Edit. We'll get in 1 more attacking. No. We need 1 more attacking coach. And no. Staff search from coach. You. For my club. Coach. And then start editing. You. Attacking 20. 20 technical 20 technical 20 determination 20 20 building 20. Hey, welcome to all those who are here. Just came in, and we're creating the base for the training experiment first. I want to do it in front of all of you, so you guys can see what I'm doing. So there's no like, oh, this is different, that is different. No, none of that. Okay, so we can put it in here. All right, so we got this. Okay, so we got every area covered, right? Except for, I think we can push this. Yeah, we got this area covered. Yeah, we can't. Okay, so we need to get 1 more fitness coach in. I think, never mind, that should be fine now. We get 1 more coach in, and then we can use him to reduce the workload. Training staff search. We just bring you in. Editing. Fitness, right? 20. 20. 20. 20. Yeah, boom, bam. Training, coaches. And then now we got the last guy. This guy. With fitness. Yep, we got a fitness coach. So that means that I can do this. Bing, 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 bing. Done. Okay. Not perfect. Save game as base. Finally. Yeah, I think I missed out one thing. Okay, I've done the coaches. So I've done the coaches. I've done the staff, facilities. Yeah, club info. Edit club details, facilities, training facilities, 20 youth facilities. Actually, this one doesn't matter now because this is for the next intake only, but we'll just make it all 20. This one just sets up the whole thing. Okay, all right. So we've done it. The base is safe. Okay, so I'm going to save this inside the Stuttgart training base, and I'm going to save it inside the Dropbox folder. All you guys, Profito. So we're not going to do things like, the personalities and all that nonsense. I'm not going to do that. Shared save. So this is the Stuttgart training base. Okay, done. Okay, we've done the base already. Now we can do the simulation. Okay, so first we're going to go inside here. We're going to create the first schedule. We're going to create the first schedule, which should be very simple. So first we got to find out where their matches are. Schedule and then set up friendlies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They got 6 friendlies. Can we squeeze any more friendlies? Arrange friendly. We can squeeze one here. We can squeeze one here. Okay. We need to set up at least we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 friendlies. So 6, 7 friendlies now. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That should be enough. Okay, so we choose a smaller reputation. Very small. So they just can do whatever they want to do. Right, done. Okay, that's it. So we've done that. We're gonna move it one day forward. Monthly stuff, meeting preferences, never. Okay, confirm. Done. Alright, attend meeting and meeting. Done. Alright, okay. Inbox. Right, so now I think we come in, and then remember we had a couple of players. I don't know why I can't change these guys now. Okay, squad. Can we change them now? Can't. Still can't. I can't adjust these two. Okay, so now we're going to rest, and then we make sure this is double intensity. That's done. Okay, so we've done all that. We're not going to move the units. Units, yes, we're going to move. All the fullbacks, we're going to move them into the attacking unit, like I normally would for all my saves. Nothing has changed. All right, so this guy goes into, okay. All right, that's it. That's done. Okay, so save the base again. Hey, Mr. K. Now we're going to go in there and create the first first schedule. Okay, before I go to the first schedule, when is the games? Saturdays. Most of them on Saturdays. We got Wednesday. Most of them on Saturdays or Wednesday. So we're going to go game training schedules. So Saturday is the match day. So this is match. So we're going to, first training schedule is very simple. Match practice. So we're going to do it like this. Since they got Wednesday game. Sorry, they got a game on Wednesday, right? So first one is match practice, man. That's it. First one, say only match practice. MP only. Okay. All right, done. Now, preseason, we're going to have to do the preseason. Okay, so what we're going to do for preseason is fairly straightforward. Okay, so training calendar, we go into preseason. Ideally, I would have liked to do a proper one, but not like this, but okay. So we'll just come in here, custom, preseason, heavy mid. Okay, this one is so actually heavy early is good. They got heavy early already, so leave it. All right, here we'll do heavy mid as well. Heavy mid done. Okay, and then this one will be preseason. Normal, heavy, late. Okay, done. So our games are gonna start here. See this? So this is our first game. Okay, all right, done. Now we go inside our. Now we're gonna see this save game as base again, because I'm just repeating this on the base file. Okay, so all the base files will be like this. There's no change. We've done everything. Now I will create two files. Same game is. Okay, so the training experiment MP only is the first one. All right, so this is the MP only one, and then FM save game as balanced training save. So now I got two files there. Okay, load game. So, they're all going to the Dropbox folder. Ish. Okay. Training best. Where is it? So balanced. Okay, this is the MP1 only load. Okay, so all going to Dropbox folders. All you can extract them if you want. All right, done. So we've done it already. Okay, so now we come inside here. We create we already created a training calendar. So we come in here now. We just stick the calendar in. All right, so the one that we created was this MP only. Copy, paste. Yeah, nothing else, no. The first one we're gonna run. We're gonna run experiment. They only do 2 match practice. The rest we don't do. They do bugger all. So they are individual training session. They are double intensity, and they're doing quickness individual. Right. So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna compare that to a balanced training program. Now this is actually not that bad, no. They got 2 match practice and that's it, no. I mean, if you just wanted to train a team, because this is how I would do it in the lower leagues. This is 3 match practice in a week. So I want to remove this because this is it's a bug. Okay? All right. So we have to be very, very fair. No bugging out. No like extra match practice. I'm going to use it. No. That one is out. Okay. No cheating. No cheating. So 2 match practices only. Keep putting it in. Go up. And then holiday mode all the way. Now, naturally, when the other games, there might be rescheduling, and I cannot really be on top of every reschedule, right? So we're not going to go there. Okay. And we're not stopping at this team, no. We also have to do it to the youth team. They're going to use the same schedule. So done already. Done. Now we go to the under 19s. Guess what? Hallelujah. They are looking at me going, what you doing, sir? What are we doing? Oh, we're doing this now. You see, the youth team also has got a different schedule. So we're going to do heavy early here. Then we're going to do normal, heavy, mid. Okay. You see, I follow the names, the conventions. You see what I say here? Pre-tactical mid, right? So it's heavy mid. That's it. There, technical late. So it's heavy late. We go pre-season, use heavy late. Then we go bang. Then this is youth tactical. So this is where our schedules come in. All right. So we go in here, MP only, copy and start pasting it across the board for everybody. There is no recovery. We're not going to take advantage of the recovery. Okay. Then we go 2-2-2. Plenty of time for them to rest. You know, they can go fun. This is a fun time. If this was my only training schedule in real life, I kiss my coaches, man, because it means I can have sex on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Hey, hello. There's no extra. Okay, so copy. Again, recovery. No, we're not allowed to cheat. There's no 2. Yeah. There's no 3. We cannot accept the third one because that is cheating. So it's only 2 allowed. So if we see a third, we gotta remove it like this. So it's consistent across the board. And then we'll come into April. Wait, hold on. Pace. Come on now. Don't give me an extra. Because you can't do that. You can't have more than 2 a week. Otherwise, you're basically taking advantage of a bug in the game. Right? We don't want to be accused of taking advantage of bugs. Okay, we've saved this. So this is the... Hey, hello, I'm going to do it locally. I'm not going to every single save I put inside here. That's like too many saves. People will never ever forgive me for flooding it with all my saves. Okay, all right. So, no, training sims. Okay, all right. Done. Hallelujah. Okay, save game as now is run 1. Done. Squad. Now we have to create the view. Okay, let's do the attributes. I think I have an attributes view. There we go. All the attributes are there. Do I have CAPA in this one? No, I don't. I need CAPA. Customize. Name detail, position, and then we're gonna have CAPA. I don't know where CAPA is. Okay, current ability. Why can't you do a filter that just tells me to find it? No, current ability and then potential ability. Potential ability, where are you? Don't be shy. Okay, potential ability. Put this. Oh, sorry. Vap. Okay, bang. So we got CAPA. All right. Appearances will be handy. Name, position, CAPA, and age. All very important information that we need. And we have got. Hey, hold on. Can I export? How do you export the view? Long time since I've done all these kind of things, no? I think so. Export current view. Man, I haven't done this in ages, though. Okay. All right. Okay. Done. Okay. All right. Are we ready? I think we are. So save game as yeah, I guess so. Run 1. Okay, here we go. Holiday. So we're gonna choose the date. It's 30th of June 2024. Go on holiday. Oh yeah. Oh, forgot. One thing I forgot to do. All right, we gotta go to. Sorry. I think how do I do this? I forgot. I even forgotten how to do this. I totally forgot how to do this. Oh, sorry. We have got one tactic, so I don't have to worry about this. They'll be using the same tactic. Hallelujah. Okay. All right. Okay, so we got the senior team using this tactic. We got the under 18s using the same tactic. We've also gone into the game and we have given them 5-star coaches. We sorted out the facilities. We checked the contracts. Nobody's on loan. Everybody's in the club. They're all going to be trained by our club. And the first simulation we're going to run is one where the training is pretty cool. All right. Pre-season is up to them. We've done a bit of a pre-season, but once the regular season starts, all they're doing is match practice. Okay, that's it. Okay, match practice. 2 sessions are back. We're going to do a pre-season because it doesn't make sense for your pre-season to be light, because then it just encourages your players to, they get jaded much faster. So here we'll leave it like this. We set everything up. There's no mentoring. We moved our players into the right units. Let's make sure that is happening even in the U team, because I don't think we did it in the U team. Yes, we want to put all the attacking units. So all the players who are, they might have an attack duty to go into the attacking unit. All done. Everybody's happy. Let's all make sure that everybody's got the roles and duties as roles and duties as supposed to. We're gonna make sure everything is kosher. We got no funky stuff happening. Okay, now we go to the main squad. Training, we go to units again, make sure everything is kosher. Yeah, we've got some dodgy fellas here. We can't. Oh, no wonder the Joker is on holiday. Apparently, when he's on a holiday, can I bring him back? Can I just? Okay. They should have given the option, right? Bring him back from a holiday. Cut his holiday short. Wonder we couldn't do anything with him. All right, but never mind. When he comes back, he's going to be I think he's going to be a DM playing position. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. But we're going to take note of that. So we're going to go holiday now. All right, so we go holiday, use current match tactics. We're not doing anything else. We're going to sit down here and go to 30th June 2024. And we're gonna make things a bit more easier. Staff, responsibilities, training, delegate. No, we're gonna be in charge of this, so we're not delegating this. Match. We're gonna delegate this. We're gonna delegate this as well. We're gonna delegate this as well. So we're not getting involved in anything. It's all on their own. Right, so save this again. Again, I'm gonna have to save it in the base as well. So this one MP run. I'm just gonna call this base now. Okay, done. And then I'm gonna load the one I just did. Never mind. I can just save it here, right? Since the same place. Okay, and then this is the MP run 1. Okay, done. I got multiple saves, man. All right, let's go. On holiday. June. Off we go. Okay, so what's the point of all this? We have to talk about the point. All right, guys. The goal very simply, right? I think there's a funky thing that just happened. Yeah, the goal here is very simple. We want to compare training approaches, right? So we're going to do a minimalist one, which is match practice, which you can get away with quickness. All right, and then we're going to compare the development of the player. We've already gone in and we've created all these players. We're making sure they don't go on loan, because that's going to send things off in the wrong direction. Secondly, we've also made sure that we don't have too many nations playable, because we want to just keep everybody at the club. So that makes it really simple, because if you want to do an experiment where you have loan signings as well, you got to make those leagues playable so that the match engine uses, you're using the same match engine to do the calculations. Because there's no point you having an experiment and then, oh yeah, we got to do an experiment and I'm not going to make these leagues playable, especially where they go on loan. Then what's the point? The numbers are not going to tally because it's going to use a different match engine. So you want to make sure that you're using the full match engine as much as possible. So I made it really simple by not having any loan signings. So they're all in my club. So everybody is training in my club or playing in my club. That makes things a lot more cleaner. Then we've given ourselves 5-star coaches where we can. I mean, most of them are 5-star anyway. And then we maxed out our facilities. So facilities are maxed out. Coaches are maxed out. The players, all we did with the players, we didn't edit any attributes in the players apart from one thing. We made sure that their contracts lasted long enough and they don't go anywhere after that. The youth players, we've got 10 of them. We're going to have full-time contracts as well. And we're going to be going in. And once the season is done, we're going to take a look at their attributes to see how they have developed. And the first experiment is only match practice, 2 sessions a week. That's it. I mean, they have a preseason, which is relatively heavy. They're playing like 7 friendly matches. They go into the first game, and from that moment onwards, after the first game, they're all going to be on like this match practice session only, right? 2 match practices, that's the only thing that they do. In the second experiment, the goal is to use a balanced training schedule, which will still have 2 match practice sessions, but we're going to sprinkle a bit more of the other sessions, some of which are my favorite sessions, which enable you to develop the mental side. Why am I doing this differently in the second experiment? Is because in training, Football Manager, when it comes to training is a tool for you to distribute attributes. And you distribute attributes by choosing the roles the players play in, and of course, the kind of sessions that they do for training. So if you wanted a team to be, if you wanted them to focus wholly on physical attributes, then your sessions will lean more towards the physical side in the schedule. But the downside of this is you might sacrifice development in other areas like technical areas or mental areas. So my approach is really different, because youth players with great personalities will almost always have fantastic physical development. Very rarely do they not have good physical development. A lot of the time, that development is influenced by their personalities. So a player who's got very good personalities is always going to develop, given ceteris paribus, all things being equal, that player will always develop a lot better than a player with a personality like unambitious, which is singularly the worst attribute in the game. So you got to be very careful. So my favorite personalities in the game of Football Manager are actually model citizen, model professional, resolute. I don't mind spirited. I don't mind balanced. Balance is a bit of a, when it comes to balance, I then look at aggression and natural fitness. If it's got high aggression, I'm almost always going to take the player, because aggression is a fantastic attribute within the match engine when you're playing the game on match day, because that player is going to fight for every ball. Of course, aggression plus competitive streak and low technique is just asking for trouble. And player does absolute no technique. He's got a competitive streak, he's got high aggression, you got yourself Winnie Jones on steroids. So you want to avoid that at all costs. But if you can go this direction, it makes the training a lot more easier for you. So why match practice only? Because match practice is singularly the best session in the game since it was introduced, which is a reason why in Football Manager you can only use a maximum of 2. Because a player, when you use match practice, a player is being trained in the role specifically, which is one of the reasons why when I started the save, I specifically went to each player to set up their roles, because you want to do that. You don't want to give the game the choice of choosing from that position the various roles he could be in, because then you're just spinning the wheel, and I don't like to spin the wheel. I like to be in control of as much as I can. So that's it. And doing an experiment like this is not going to take long, because you want to go to the end, save the game. That's why I saved the game at the start. So you got to give it a different name. Now I'll show you what I do, because you're going to literally export stuff from the game to compare. And that's a lot of work. So if any of you are kings of Google Sheets, I would appreciate it if you could put your hands up right now and say, I'm a king of Google Sheets and I'm here to help. Which is the reason why it's in the Dropbox folder. Yes, because then, use smarter whips out there. You can do your little, what's the word for it? Huh? You can do all your statistical analysis, look for deviations in the runs, because it's very important to have an upper limit and a lower limit and come to a median, because you gotta take the upper limit and then take the lower limit, cancel them out, and then take the numbers in between. Yeah, because there's no point going to the best numbers. And the thing about these kind of simulations, and I'm going to be very clear, the first season is always the best. Okay, so let's look at how our simulation is coming along. Okay, so looking at a simulation, Stuttgart, not too bad, huh? Season's coming to an end. And they are, fifth on the table, man. Without too much effort from me. They finished fifth, eh? We're just using match practice, and quickness. All right. And they're coming to the end of the season, man. They're not doing too bad, Stuttgart. Some people are going to just say the tactic is a exploit tactic. No, it's just an easy tactic. 4-2-3-1s usually work. Oh, no. We got a return from holiday. Janked. Training. Look at the calendar. This is very important. No, they almost came in here and spoiled the party, man. Copy. This is the reason why we do this. Calendar. Training calendar. They almost came in and This is why you want to be paying attention. Okay, go on holiday. Use current match tactics to the 30th of June. So you gotta be Johnny on the spot with these simulations. Very important to be on the spot, because if you do a simulation and then you walk away and you go and have coffee and tea, sometimes these kind of things will happen. The game goes in. Of course, match focus, that's gonna go inside the game whether you like it or not. Okay. So in our first experiment, we finished the first experiment. We'll go to the 30th of June. We're going to baseline that because we want to have a baseline date in every one of our experiments. It's best to go to July the next season, but we'll just go because the 30th of June is, I like that the best because it's right at the very tip of the crossover. So that's where I want it. Any tactic that uses a goalkeeper as an exploit, no. Chico, any tactic where the goalkeeper is taking set pieces is an exploit. Right. Which is what I do all the time. I love getting my goalkeeper to take free kicks and penalties. Because there's nothing better than a goalkeeper getting an 8 early in the game. Think about it, right? Goalkeeper gets an 8. Wow, he's off to the races, man. Okay, so with that, see, we've gone right all the way to the 30th June before the crossover. All right, done. Done. Okay, squad. So we're going to save it now. Save game as run 1 end. Save. Okay, so we got to the end. So here we are. Now we're going to arrange everybody numerically or whatever you want to call it. And then go all the way to the bottom. Top. Yeah, you're asking me what are your results. We'll worry about that later, okay? Web page. Where am I gonna do this, man? I gotta put this all in a place where I know, no? Exports. We're gonna create a new folder, I think, and then we're gonna call this Training Xperiment. Okay. All right. So we got this, the MP only 1, meaning it's the end of the first season. Done. We've exported that. Now we got to load the first game. Look, browse. Was it? I think it's here. No, we got to be very careful. I think that's why I make multiple saves, because I'm capable of screwing things up. MP run. This is the start and this is the end. Okay, so we go to the start now. You need to go to the start. And then do the same thing, squad. Remove all injuries. Okay. Sort this out. Come all. we're only gonna look at the main team. Yeah. I'm not looking at the other team. Yeah, the kids. Yeah. Recent desktop. See. Users. Profeto. See, this is why I screw myself up all the time. I forgot where I put it. Exports. Alright, Tracy is an E drive. Okay. MP only one start. Okay. Done. Okay, so we got that, right? Okay. Now, oh no. H. MP only one start. Vision. Because the other one didn't have it in numeric age order. Okay, done. Okay, so now we go to Google Sheet. Okay. File import. I hope I do this correctly. I hate doing this. No, this is like one of those annoying ones. Oh yeah, this I gotta put it in Google Sheets. I gotta put it in Google Drive. So I don't like using this thingamajig. So I myself don't know where Google Drive is. No. This is embarrassing. Upload a browser file. Exports. Training sim experiment. Start version 2. Open. Create. Import data only, right? Okay. Open now. Don't look at me, man. I don't know. I'm not a Google Sheets user. Okay, so we got this. We got this. All of this information here. Okay, all done. So let's open page 2. File. Import. Upload. Browse file. MP1 only. It must be this file. Same name. Okay. Let's take this. Oh. Okay. Looking at this player alone, He started at 112, had an improvement 108. This guy had no improvement, Lilian Geloff. Okay. This guy Enzo Milo 128 had an improvement in 2 CA. This guy had no improvement. This guy had an improvement of 2. This guy had a massive improvement, Angelo Stiglo. 132, his CA jumped to 143. That's a huge improvement for him. Okay. All right, and then we got another player. So we can see that there are some players that improve quite a lot. So if I'm looking at just this, right? Okay. So this guy marginal. This guy no improvement. This guy marginal. This guy no improvement. This guy improvement of 2 attributes, which is just marginal. In one season, 2 attributes, but one player, Angelo Stiller, had a massive jump. So this guy is the only guy, this whole group, who had an improvement of more than, like, he went from 132 to 143. Most at 127, 132, 132, 133. So you can see how many players had improvements. Like marginal improvements. A lot of the players have marginal improvements. Like these guys all have marginal improvements. Right. Okay. I mean, there's a better way of doing this, but I'm just going to show you guys how we start. Okay, and after that we'll just carry on. A few days we'll do this. I mean, I don't want to rush this. So we got a lot of players with just marginal improvements from just doing that match practice. Then Axel Zagado 134 to 137, another marginal improvement of about 3 CA points. Right here we got one. There's one decline. Complete decline. Oh no, 138, 142. Another. I mean, I will consider a marginal improvement from anything between 2 to 4. So only 2 to 4 is the only marginal improvement we have, right? Okay. So there is some marginal improvement in most of these players. Then you got Silas, marginal improvement, 2 points, no improvement for some players. A lot of them have marginal improvement. Look, going down the list as the older the player gets, right? Because at the top are my 21. So if you look at the list, right? 18 to 23, you can see that the changes are from 18 to 24. Up to 24, we've got improvements. Up to Silas 24, we have improvements, like marginal improvements. But once they hit like 25 years of age, most of these players have no more improvements, right? There might be what we call shifts in CA, meaning there might be some changes in the distribution of their attributes. Other than that, no more improvements. So you can see only how many players, and most of them marginal improvements of 2, 2, 2. With Angelo Stiller standing out, if I wanted to impress you guys with the development of a player, I could just show you Angelo Stiller and go, wow, look at him. But we're not going to do that. So let's browse again. This is the end. So we're going to look at Angelo Stiller because we can now we know who to look for. Okay. So squad, looking at the team, right? Angelo Stiller here, 23 years old, improved the most. Training. You can see his progress, right? Attributes wise, in the whole season, he had the highest shift in CA. Okay, this guy had the highest shift in CA. So he went from 132 to 143. Now a lot of these points, right, in the game of Football Manager, they're just like, a 1 point here, 1 point there. But match practice, this is the highest we went in. But what we want to also know is the distribution of those attributes, right? Like where did they go? I mean, it's great to know, he had a big improvement, but did he get, where is most of his improvement? So most of his improvement is in physical attributes, and he's got like an improvement in anticipation. Like if you want to know them, you have to go into the numbers, each one of them, right? So off the ball went up by 1 point. An arrow up like this is 1 point usually. Vision is 1 point, 15 to 16. So he had improvement in vision off the ball. Leadership, probably leadership is like this is side grade. 13 to 13, 13 to 14 or 13 to 13, but because in Football Manager the attributes go from 0 to 200, right? So this could be like 131 to 139. Okay, so that's how it works. That's why it's a 14. It's like we're rounding it up. We're rounding 13 up to 14. That's what it actually means. It doesn't mean it's 14. It could be 13 to 14. So here we've got another one, composure as well. It's like 16. There's almost 17. Right? I say it's almost there. So it's like 1. So I count it as a 1 point increase. Here 13 to 14 again. Then you got bravery. 13 to 13. This should be 13 to 13. So he's got improvements in 1, anticipation, composure, leadership of the ball, positioning. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attributes. Here we got 4 attributes only, right? Now that's the main bulk of his improvements. Then we've got Larin Ulrich, right? This is a 108 to 112, right? A kid called Larin Ulrich, development progress, his development as well. If we look at it, pretty much you can see that mental attributes not too many. Physical attributes always go up. I'm telling you, they will always go up. Okay, so his determination went up. His flair, probably that's about it. 14, his determination went up. This probably 13 with nothing to do with it. 14 is usually something in the club. Anticipation, side grade 8. Probably there's a slight improvement, 81 maybe to 82. This is what it means actually. It's not like, it's 8 doesn't mean 8. No, it means like in Football Manager, it's 0 to 200, right? So this could be 80 or 8. Yeah, 80 because 10 will be 100, right? So this is like 80, okay? So he's getting close. He's like 75 or 74. He hasn't reached 80. He hasn't reached 74. Yeah, 74. He hasn't reached a number high enough to trigger it to show 9 like this, something like this. So these are all degrade. So in our club, what we did was we use a schedule. We use this schedule, right? So in terms of the improvements in the club, right? We only saw improvements, side grades in most, and only one improvement, this guy, Angelo Stiller. So, and then no improvements in the rest. Okay. All right. So that's basically the first experiment, right? Okay. All right. We're going to keep it simple because I can do one more and I can look at under 90s. I'm not done it yet, but I'll do that. I've made the save available to all of you. So you all can go and do your you can do your own funky experiments yourself. Okay. Now, second one. So we're going to go to MP Run 1, which is the base. Yeah, we're going to remember this. I cannot screw things up. I tell you, a number of times I will redo everything because I screwed something up. Okay, so we're going to come in here. Now we're going to make a new schedule. All right, so this one is going to be different, right? This is going to be a new schedule that we're going to create, which does have the match day here. Okay, and then the 2 match practices as well. But what we're going to add to this is... my favorite sessions, right? So I'm going to add transition restrict because this has got concentration and it's for both units. So I'm going to put this on this day as well. Technical, transition restrict. Then I'm going to have here attacking. No, we're going to have general physical. Then we're going to have general attacking and then general. On this day, we're going to have general defending. Okay, and then on this day, we're going to have defending aerial. So I got attacking, I got 1 attacking, I got 1 defending, got 2 transition restricts, and then we're going to put in 1 more, keep this day a bit heavy. I'm just going to add in 1 tactical. All right, so we just keep this like this, and I'm going to add in physical recovery here, and physical recovery here. All right, so to all intents and purposes, this is pretty balanced, right? So it's got 2 match practices, the same thing that the other one had. But now we've added a few more sessions. But overall, it's actually a very light schedule. This is super light. If you look at the injury risk, is basically quite flat. Right? If you want to make it even lower, I just come inside here and I go, hey baby, bring on the injury risk for me. Will you? There we go. How much injury risk do you want? Boom. I don't like it when my players get a chance of injury. I don't like it. That's as much as you can do. Okay, so physical. So we're done rest. There's plenty there, right? So we're gonna save this. Experiment 1. All right. So we're gonna go to the calendar, do the same thing again, and stick this in here. Now, copy, paste. So once again, now the difference is because we got so many, right? So if I get like this match practice, one more, the rule is we cannot have 3 match practices a week, right? So we're going to make sure that we don't get that again. So we're going to make it very fair. Okay, there we go. Another one here. We're going to put in recovery and that's it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to compare this training schedule to the other one. Physical recovery, take it out. Remember, we want to do it to the youth team as well, and I'll leave it for you guys. Hi, Slip Mali, how are you, man? Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Oi, I think that's on the book. All right. Oi, come back. All right, that's done. Okay, so we go to the under 19s. We didn't, I want to make sure that theirs is also. They are using the same approach. Have you figured out how to get the center back to stay put in defense? No, center backs are, there's no such thing as stay put in defense. Yeah, it doesn't work that way because every player in the game will close down, whether you like it or not. The moment they enter the zone, that's how the game works. So closing down, there's no such thing as never close down a player because you can't control closing down in the game. You can only control trigger press, which means if the player commits, if the player miscontrols the ball, more than one fella, go in and take the ball off him or do something about it, or trigger the closing down. That comes on trigger press. That's the only thing you can do. Other than that, all players will close down whether you like it or not. There's no such thing as don't ever close down a player in the game. That's beyond your control. That's a hard-coded already to the game. Answer one question, I get a subscription. I love you, man, Slip Mali. Thanks for the 7 months in a row. All I had to do was answer a question. Oh, I love you, baby. All right, we got to keep doing this. So once again, we want to make sure that this experiment is kosher and fair. Okay? So it's got to be like this. The other one, except, it doesn't have 3 match practice. Otherwise, we're cheating. Okay? We can't have 3. Okay? Remember our results for the first one. We got the results for the first one already. Only no player above the age of 30 had any improvements. 24 had any improvements. It's a small little sample size, not very big, but I've got a bigger one in the whatchamacallit, in the how do I explain it? We've got the youth team. We haven't gone there yet. We've got Training Xperiment, balance, start. Okay, all right, done. This is the balance start. Okay, now we're gonna go to the squad. We're gonna have to make sure everything is kosher. So remove all injuries. Then the next thing we're gonna do, make sure it's in alphabetical order. That's done. Save game. Okay. Next thing we do is take screenshot. P web page. I know I did it just now, but let's make sure that we make sure that in the training experiment, this is a new one, right? Balance start. Did a balance start. Okay. I don't want to do it again. Go on holiday. Use current match tactics. Just now the team finished 5th. That was quite an achievement. Quite proud of the boys. I didn't have to do anything. They finished 3rd. All right, done. Hopefully it works. Go, let's go. Hopefully it works. Hopefully I didn't forget anything else. I hate to have to go back and do it again. No, it's frustrating. What's this analysis for? Ian Roy, welcome to the stream. Basically, I'm comparing 2 training programs. So I got match practice 1 only, which only has 2 sessions of match practice with quickness. And the second one is we have a balanced training schedule. And we want to compare the development of some of the players. And we found in the first one, only one player had Angelo still had a lot of development. Most of the others had one or 2 CA point improvements. I mean, okay general development, but maybe half the team. So this was the numbers we saw just now. We compared this group and this group. So this is our group. The rest at the bottom, you can see there's no improvements. Only one player stood out and we went to look at him. And it was basically physical development and some mental mental attributes. Plus, basically it's just to see, just to create, to show people different approaches you can have to training. So in the first one, what happened was, very interestingly, like I've always said before, training is only there to distribute your attributes. That's it. Distribute your attributes. Your tactic is ace. Whether or not you're using the tactic, whether or not for me the tactic is the secondary thing. But it's important that your tactic doesn't see your team at the bottom of the table, because I've also done training simulations where your training results are wildly different. If you are the champion, top 3 or bottom 2, they are wildly different. So if you are doing well in the league and your team is doing really well, the training numbers look very good. If you are in the relegation zone and you're losing a lot of games, your training numbers will also look bad, because there's something in the game about there's a random what they call it factor. They call it training factor, as I call it. Go and Google, go and check the older threads which SI wrote there's a thread on the forums which SI and I worked on a long time ago, and there they explain how the training development is calculated. They have something called a training factor. I can't exactly remember the name now. It's such a long time ago. Essentially, in a nutshell, is a random number generator. Right? So for you to, it takes a lot of things into consideration: your results, the player's personality, his happiness, how well your club is doing in the league, how many matches he has played, how many minutes he has played, whether he's injured. What else? Quite a lot, no? And then all that spits out, okay, the chance of him hitting what he's supposed to hit. So if you did very well, his personality is very good, and your team is at the top of the table, you still spit out that luck factor whether he's going to do well or not. First season in FM producers, always the best. Always the best. Always the best. In every simulation you run, the first season is the best. The second season is the okay, you'll drop a lot. The second season is like this, which is the reason why I always tell people you need to do 5 seasons. A true training sim will take 5 seasons. Because you got to go in there and take out the worst scores and the best scores, and then bring everything into the middle and do a balanced look at it. Because it's never the same. Some seasons you get like sometimes I can get, I've had, say, simulations where my player reaches full PA within 3 seasons. 19-year-old gets into full PA within 3 seasons. I'm like, oh, wow. Then after that, another simulation, he doesn't get there within 3 seasons. So I'm like, what the? So yeah. So there's a bit of randomness in it. So then I realized that, okay, so it's very easy for me to do something and then go, hey, you guys, you know what? Training is the ace. I do 1 season and I show you all green stars. What's the point? Because you go in there, second season, everything drops. You go like, what the hell happened to my team? It's not you, it's the game. So always what you do what matters most in the game is consistency from the manager. So things like, do you criticize your players? I don't. I never bothered. I don't care. I never do. I just don't play them. I find that's the best. You don't train. I don't even tell the player at all. You don't. I don't even set targets. Why you want to get into the world of promises for? In this game, when you make a promise to a player that you're going to play him, and then you don't play him, that has got a bigger knock-on effect on that player. So I rather not make a single promise, because as I introduce that feature, and I tell you something, not making promises is way better than making promises. So I never criticize the player. I never praise the player, unless they get Ballon d'Or. So I set a high bar for praising, and it works. So it's like quite cool, right? They want to praise, yeah, Ballon d'Or first, then I praise you. Other than that, you're supposed to do what you're doing, but you're a striker, you're supposed to score goals. What, you score 20 goals, I'm supposed to shake your hand, is it? That's what I pay you for. I mean, that's the reality of the game. Even in the real world, that's the reality. You think coaches are going to the player, hey, thank you for scoring the goal, brace, yeah, you did really well, boy. You did really well. You try doing that in real life. Try it out. The fact of the matter is, it doesn't work. Coddling players doesn't work. And it's proven time and time again in the real world. Because Manchester United are the king of coddles. Yeah, you go there for cuddles and coddles. Right? Look at what they did to the players in the club. The moment they go to a club where they don't get cuddles and coddles, they start playing a lot better. So the moral of the story is you gotta also look at the people who made the game, and their age group. The game was designed by a man from my generation. We are not into the cuddle and the coddle. Okay? Put yourself in the mind of the man from your generation. Yeah, that's how it works. Do trainings actually help with playing styles and tactics? Nope, does not do anything. If you go into the game thinking that training works, the training, all it does is distribute attributes. That's it. The sessions you use, the things all you do is just to dare to distribute attributes. It doesn't make you play the low block better or whatever. What makes you play the low block better is you identifying the right players for your low block, right? To go in again. We have to go in again, make sure that the Dame does not because I had this thing last time, remember? I'll show you what I tried to do. Just in case you guys don't get a chance to see it, you're wondering what the heck is he talking about. Remember the first simulation? We had the problem where we went in and then they stuck this in. They start their own schedule because the team did quite well. Okay, apparently this one also doing quite well. Okay, all right, all done. Okay, go on holiday. This one they didn't do so well. The numbers will not be as good. In the other one, 2 match practice a week, they ended up being they finished in the top 5. Here they are 9th, 8. It's okay lah. Yeah, so in my opinion, it doesn't. So what you do with training is you keep it as balanced as possible. That's the best for training. Keep it balanced and you're fine. The moment you start doing things like, I think it's going to if you believe the hype, for you to play tiki-taka, you must have a trained tiki-taka. That's all placebo. You know why? Because training distributes attributes. So if tiki-taka is hitting the attributes for your players to improve attributes you're already weak at, then great. The best way to play this game is to look at the team and go, okay, which are the areas where they're weakest at? The mental attributes are weak. Then you design a balanced training program, which has got some fitness inside there. Everything is balanced, some attacking, some defending, and, pick a few technical sessions and you're good. And match practice and you're golden. That's the best way to do this game. Don't overcomplicate things. Criticizing, I never bother. Actually, last time criticizing bad training performances, we didn't criticize. It was more like find them or, because those days when we were doing it was basically to get a spike in their determination attribute. All right, so we reached the end. Wow. Oh no, we're not 16. I thought we were 16. I thought, what the heck happened? I don't know where we finished. I think top. Let's just find out. Okay, just for the fun of it. Stages. How did we do last season? So we basically first season we finished. See, I told you right. One season you do well, the next season you won't do well. Same tactic. Go figure. The other one we finished 5th. This one we finished 16th. That's right. In this one, the best part is I know the numbers will not be so good. 100% won't be so good. Okay. So you got Control A, Control P, web page. Let's go to E, exports, and then Training Sim Experiment, balanced end. Okay, save. All right, so we got balance end inside here. So I'm gonna just create a new sheet, and then file, import, upload, browse, balance start. Balance start is here. Insert new sheet. Okay, so that's balance start, and then file, import, upload, browse, balance end, open. It's a new sheet. Okay. All right. So we got balance, start and end here. I don't know. I got so many of these now. Okay. So we just go we delete this. This one. Then we got MP start, MP only. I think this is the end. Yeah. I think this is the end. So I put it here. 1, 2. Okay, this is a comparison. I'll delete this. Okay. So now we have another one and I'll compare the next one. So balance. I mean, I don't think this will be too different, but I'm just going to copy it anyway. Okay, so got copy, Control C, and then put it here. Where are you? Where are you? There, here. Okay, so this one is the second one. Right, and then we gonna. This is just a simple comparison. The better one would be for me to actually do a proper use Excel spreadsheet properly. This is just a very quick one for streaming. P1 only. This is the sheet. Okay, let me come in here, compare this. All right, so we got these players start and end, right? Okay. So once again, looking at the players, right? So we gotta just compare a few players, huh? Okay. So remember, we want to just look at the CA change. So here we go. CA change. 108 to 113. Okay, so this guy 108 to 112. This guy had 108. So this guy here, the same chap, okay, is 108 to 113. Okay. So this guy improved is higher than this one, right? So this one is a higher number. So I'm just going to make it a different color, green. Okay. All right. So next player, we got here 108 to 108, no change. Here 108 to 108, no change. Enzo Milo, 128 to 130. This guy 128 to 143. So this guy is a massive jump. Okay. So this one will use this color. This guy is a massive jump. Sturgio, then we got Sturgio. He went from 121 to 140. 121 to 121, there was no change. This guy still had a change. Sturgio improved. Right, then we had Roald, 125 to 128 improvement. Here, 125 to 127. So here he improved a bit better. So definitely he's going to be green. So I'm going to give him a green number because he's higher than the previous one. Then we got Angelo Stiller, 132 to 143. This guy 132 to 147, even higher, right? So he's even higher. So green. Right? This guy is a massive improvement, right? So compared, this guy was the highest improving guy from 132 to 143. He had 132 to 147. Jamie Llewellyn, 127 to 127, no change in the other side as well. What is his name again? Vagnoma. He went to 133, a 1-point change. He had a 2-point change. Right, so he had a slightly better performance here. Okay, and then we have Roberto, 115 to 115. These are no change. Nicholas Nate, 118 to 118, no change. Then we have Wu, 128 to 130, a 2-point change. He had a 2-point change there as well. You'll notice once they get to a certain age, they'll all almost be the same. Okay. So no change there. Then Axel Zagado had a 134 to 137, 3-point change here. 134 to 137, also a 3-point change. No change there. And then Silas Hiroki Ito had a change from 138 to 142. He had a much higher change with the second schedule. One green. And then if I were to look at Silas had no change, 132 to 130. Oh, Silas, he had a change, huh? This one had a change. The other one, Silas didn't change. So he didn't have improvement there. So here he had an improvement. He had 132 to 135. In fact, he had a change, Silas, he had a change. You got to reflect that. Okay, so he had a change. Not like he didn't. Okay, yellow. So he did improve. Then here 100. So here no changes. 100, 137. You can see all these. We have mild changes. One guy here, 135 to 136. He also had a mild change. And then 136 to 136, 138 to 140. Nubel, the goalkeeper, also improved slightly. Okay. 120 to 120, 120, 120, 130. Vladimir Anton, the defender, had a slight change. Then we had here 142, 127, 152, 134, 135. Mahmoud Dawood had a small change. Here, the rest didn't have any more changes, right? So if you now we're comparing these guys as well. Alexander Groit, 100 to 100, no change. 137 to 137, no change. 135, this guy had a change. 140, much higher this time around. Atan Karazov, 136 to 136, no change. Like the other side, he had no change. Nubel, the goalkeeper, went from 138 to 138. Here he had no change. Okay, so in one situation here, there was no change in the goalkeeper. Here, the other side, when we just did match practice and match practice, he actually improved. Here, Gil Diaz, 120 to 121, a slight improvement here. Okay, so 120 to 1. So, in fact, if wherever it has an improvement, we're green. So, that, the yellow literally means the same as the other side. So, anything is the same color is the same. Luca Pfeiffer, 120 to 120. Here, 120 to 1. Vladimir Anton, 138 to 138. No change. So, that side had an improvement. Dennis Undaf, 142, 142. So, no change there. 127, 127, 152, 152, 134, 34, 18, 18, 17, 17. So there were some mild improvements, but no big jumps in the first one. In the first one, where we only did with 2 match practice, you can see that one player stood out among the rest with a more than 2 attribute gain. Now, anytime it's a yellow color, it's just generally within a range of 4 points, right? So 4 points, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 players showed like, they had like 11 players at something in the region of around, where's my tilde? I haven't used a tilde in such a long time. Okay, around 4 points, okay? Right, 11 players at a change of about 4 points. Here. But here, the green literally means these players had a jump of more than at least 5, right? So we got 1, Angelo Stiller, Anthony Rual. All these players had improved. So I saw these players improve, right? He improved. So we got him improving. We got this guy, big change. We got 120, 121, 125 to 128. Actually, this guy, we should actually make him yellow. He's only 3 points. Okay. Okay. Then Angelo Stillo had a big change. And then we got, what's his name? Wagnoman. Wagnoman is 132, 134, another yellow. Okay. I need to make it consistent. Okay. This guy had 128 to 130, 134 to 137, 138 to 144. There's a big jump. This is 134 to 6. Remember, it's only 4, right? So 4 is a yellow. To be anything green, it has to be more than 4, 5. So 135 to 140. This is a big change. Okay, so that's fine. This 120 to 121 is a small change. That's a yellow. So if I look at this, right, and just look at it visually, right? Okay, visually, only one player, when you do match practice, has an increase, like a big increase, at least 5 attribute points and higher. Most of the time, it's just 1 or 2. That's the side grade. In most cases, when you go to the page, all you see is yellow arrows. That's it. You don't see any greens. Okay, so this is basically a lot of players with yellow arrows, which is typical. Now, but then if I use something that's a balanced training schedule, I get much more stronger changes in players' attributes, right? Here, anything that's greater than 5 is going to be significant, right? But we have one Enzo Milo, big jump, 143, and then we had 132. In fact, we have 2, not 1. We have 2 players here with massive spikes. So in the first one, where we only do match practice, 2 match practices, only 1 player had a big spike, and then the rest had like side grades or small little improvements. In the second experiment, we use a balanced training schedule. We have a lot more. There's a lot more improvement that you can see in a player. For me, 135 to 140 is 5 CA. That's improvement of 5 CA. 120 to 121 is a side grade as far as I'm concerned. But here, when you look at Angelo Stiller, here, this is the best that 2 match practices, a schedule with 2 match practices can do. 132 to 143. Here, 132 to 147. So we got 2 players that we're going to look at, Enzo Milo and Angelo Stiller, right? So we come inside here. This is Enzo Milo, training progress. If I look at his progress attributes, right, all time, this is his development. So mental attribute is quite good. Anticipation, concentration went up. His decision-making improved. His leadership improved. His vision, he's got improvements in work rate, positioning of the ball. This is not too bad. And look at his some of his technical attributes also improved. He's got crossing improvements, finishing, first touch, free kick taking, heading, long shots, improvements in marking, passing, penalty taking, tackling technique. So, and his physical attributes exploded. This is a lot. This is at least confirmed he had a spike in physical attributes. And this is using, okay, a training schedule that I keep telling people to do, a balanced training schedule just like this. This is a balanced training schedule. It's got match practice, defending, attacking, tactical, and physical. This is as balanced as it's going to get. But two of singularly the two best sessions in the entire game of Football Manager: transition, restrict, and match practice. You put these two in because this one is evenly across the board: passing, tackling, anticipation, concentration. Concentration is a tough attribute to improve, and you put two of these, you're done. With tactical in there and defending, you've got concentration boost for your team. Then match practice to work on the roles, and attacking and defending, keeps things quite balanced for your whole team. And then aerial defense, because I'm a stickler for defenders improving. So I want the defenders to get marking, technique, concentration, and positioning. And this is going to be great for those guys in those units. And you still get crossing improvements. So with that, Enzo Milo did quite well. And then if I'm looking at the other play here, it was going to be Angelo Stiller. So let's go to Angelo Stiller. Where is he? There we go. Training. And now notice one thing. We didn't change their personality. So I don't know what their personalities are, and I don't care. Right? Because if you're going to turn this game into like, oh, and now you need to get this personality, that personality, really, sometimes you don't want to make the save as realistic as possible. So if you look at this again, and I take my face out of the way, you see physical attributes improve. His mental attributes improve. You can see an improvement in concentration, decisions, anticipation, off the ball, positioning, vision. And then look at dribbling, heading, long shots, marking. Basically, it's across the board. With the only the downturn is in free kick taking, which really doesn't really matter to me. So when you're looking at the game of Football Manager, right? If you're playing the game of Football Manager, the most important thing in this game, and I've just done a simulation, a really quick simulation for you guys to show you which is better. Do you use a schedule which just puts additional focus on quickness? You give them more role training and two match practice. According to some people in this game, don't train a player, rest him. You do really well in training. And I've just done a very quick simulation with realistic conditions in the game of Football Manager, giving you 5-star coaches. And what did I just prove to you? Simply put, it is worse, because you're not going to get better development in your players. You're going to get decent development in your players. Yes. But if you were to make a balanced training program, you will see broader improvement in most of your players. And you still get the same players who did really well in the first style of doing it with match practices. They might get 4 to 10 points improvement in CA, but I can achieve the same with a balanced training schedule or even better. And we did it and we got even better performances there. So easily, okay, it goes without saying that if you go into the game of Football Manager tomorrow and you decide, you know what, I want to create a training schedule, you have two approaches. So my advice is have a balanced training schedule. I like this. This is really light. I mean, for me, personally speaking, this is too light. I don't actually use this. This is the lightest one I can think of, which reduces the risk of injury. And it's probably going to appeal to most of you because, hey, you know what? I don't want too many injuries. Okay, fine. Go use this. This is quite okay. Mine is a bit more hardcore than this. So this is actually very light because the injury risk is really low. Okay. But what you want to do is you want to go to individual, you want to go to rest, make sure it's double intensity, right? And then you want to make it balanced. And make it balanced, all you got to do in your schedule is make sure you got 2 match practices, defending, attacking, 1 physical, tactical, and then 2 transition restricts, and you're golden. You're done. Now, this is much better than what I did earlier, which is this. I kept it simple. 2 match practices, and that's it. And the only difference, the only thing that we kept constant with this for both teams is we both went to them for their squads. When it came to training and we looked at their squads and we set up their training, right? Let me show the view again. Okay, every player had quickness in it, right? Except for those players who were on leave. Now, probably some of the players on holiday as well, so we can't really change anything. So all of them were given specific training to do, and we gave them all quickness. So we kept it consistent across the board. Now, I hope that this has helped clarify certain things about training for you guys, right? I showed you how to do preseason. I showed you how to approach training, set up the units, okay? And I've also shown you 2 different ways of setting up your schedules. One, I don't like, which is super light. And the other one, which I actually do go for, and I use it myself, which is balanced. I want to ask you to do something that I don't do myself in my saves. I never will do that to you, right? But what I want to share with you is what I think is the best way for us to approach the game. Training is just a way for us to distribute attributes in the game. And that's it. And I want to thank everybody for coming in today, man. Whew, that's it, man. I like this. And I streamed it, okay? I streamed it just to prove a point. Because if I had done this offline, people will have a lot of things to say. He did this, he might have done this, he might have done that, he might have done this, he might have done that. There's no now mystery, It's all done in front of you. I didn't mess up the save in any way. It was streamed live and I proved it live. Okay? So I'm gonna challenge anybody to do it and see what happens. The save is in your Discord save. Guys can go and download it if you want. I want to thank everybody. Casino Square, thanks for coming in. But it's time now for me to go and put my 2 angels to sleep. Yes, and tomorrow is Good Friday for all you Catholics. So I'm sure you guys are going to start fasting very soon. Good Friday. We know what that means, right? So I want to hope you guys have a great holiday coming. Once I reach maximum tactical familiarity with the tactic, should I say, no, don't. Why? I don't really cotton too much to tactical familiarity. I don't think tactical familiarity plays that big a game. It's like one of those things in the game I call a placebo effect. There are lots of placebo effects in this game. You must understand and look at it that way. Tactical familiarity builds familiarity unto a point, and after that, it's just pointless. Yeah, so don't worry about it. Once you get tactical familiarity, leave it. Yeah, your players are using the same approach. They're gonna get familiar with the tactical system. Let them carry on. If that's a tactic you want to play, you train another tactic if you want to start using the tactical system. I wouldn't just train it for the sake. I wouldn't, do it for the sake of it. Yeah. Because you don't really need to do that. But if you want to, there's no harm in doing that. So I want to thank everybody for popping into today's stream. Fahad, friends, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed today's stream. I hope all of you did. I hope I clarified and answered your questions about training. We did an experiment to prove a point, and I hope that it helped you guys out. Once again, if you have any questions, drop in this Discord, pop them up for me, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. You guys, I'll see you again next week. Stay safe, take care of yourselves, and hey, Arsenal, you're through to a semi-final in the Champions League. You've been waiting for this all your life. Yes, guys, go! Win it all! Win it all!